In Japanese folklore, the Kijo are a group of demons who have one trait in common. They are all female. Some are born demons, these are the Oni. Others were once human, these are the Hannya. In this video, we'll look at both types. First, we're going to look at a Kijo who doesn't fit neatly into either the Oni or the Hannya category, the Hashihime. The name translates as Princess of the Bridge. She's a demon who was once human, but probably shouldn't be classified as a Hannya, for reasons that will become clear later. Her origin story is specific to one person, and yet there are tales of Hashihime in several locations and on several different bridges. We'll start with a basic legend as told in the tale of the Heike. A woman's husband cast her aside to take a younger woman in her place. Craving revenge, the scorned wife prayed to the gods to learn how she might become a demon. After 7 nights with the same entreaty, the gods answered her prayer. She was instructed to immerse herself in the Uji River for 21 nights in a row, as she nurtured the hatred in her heart. After 21 nights, she was transformed into a Kijo, the Hashihime of Uji, and immediately began planning her revenge. That very night, her former husband awoke from a terrible dream of danger. He consulted the great Omnioji Abe no Seimei, who confirmed what was coming for him. The great magician came to their home and recited magical prayers and prepared 2 special paper dolls imbued with his power. His magic was so great that when Hashihime came to their home that night to kill them, she was fooled and attacked the dolls instead. The dolls, in turn, put her own power back against her, causing her to flee. She vowed to return one day to finish the job, but Seimei's power was such that she was thwarted in her revenge. Yes, that is all clearly very demonic, yet also completely human. But oddly enough, over time the Hashihime of Uji's relationship with the people around her changed. She came to be viewed not as a demon, but as a goddess of separation and severing. People prayed to her for aid in divorces, bad breakups, and almost anything they wanted to rid themselves of, including bad luck. Shrines were built in her honor. In times of war, her name was invoked to guard her bridge against invasions. That did not mean she was entirely benevolent. Oh, not at all. Newlyweds and lovers knew better than to pass by one of her shrines while they were together, lest she break them up. It was also a bad idea to praise another bridge while using hers, because her jealousy was easily aroused and bad things could happen. As for a wedding procession, forget it. Using Hashihime's bridge to cross the river in that case was just begging for trouble. Regardless, the idea caught on, and soon there were other Hashihime at other bridges aside from Uji, fulfilling the same functions, all such manifestations being likewise prayed to and revered, very, very carefully. Ibaraki Doji was second in command to the famous Oni, Shuten Doji, and rumored to be his lover. When Shuten Doji was slain by the hero Minamoto no Yoromitsu, Ibaraki Doji survived the battle and took up residence in Rashomon, the ruined southern gate of Old Kyoto. She continued her vile deeds there. When news of this reached Yoromitsu, Watanabe no Suna, one of his 4 companions in the battle against Shuten Doji, decided to investigate. Suna rode to the southern gate in full armor. When he approached, a large clawed hand reached out and tried to grab his helmet. Suna was too wily to be taken unawares. He drew his sword and with one mighty blow severed the arm from Ibaraki Doji's body. She fled the area and Suna took the demon's arm as a trophy. Later, Ibaraki Doji returned to Kyoto and transformed herself into the image of Watanabe no Suna's old wet nurse, and managed to retrieve her arm. Even so, the demon decided it was probably not a good idea to return to Rashomon. There were rumors of her appearing at this or that place to cause trouble for years after, but she never returned to Kyoto again. Momiji, whose name means maple leaf, though she was sometimes known as Princess Sarashina, is one of the most famous Hannya, being the star of no plays dating to the Muromachi period. She was a famous beauty who joined the household of Minamoto no Tsunemoto as a concubine. Depending on which version of the story you read, she either attempted to curse Tsunemoto's official wife so she could take over, or she was the victim of his wife's jealousy and false accusations. Regardless, the result was she was exiled to Shinano Province in the area around Mount Togakushi. Her transformation into a Kijo was never explicitly stated but easily imagined, what with either failing at her evil designs or being falsely accused. It was believed that all it took was extreme emotion of some sort, frustration or jealousy or rage, to transform from human to demon. She was soon feared far and wide as a powerful Kijo. Around this time, a warrior known as Tada no Korimochi was tasked by a local Hachimon shrine to hunt Oni. He had heard of the Kijo of Mount Togakushi, and he and his men went into the mountains to find her. This was in the fall of the year, and instead of a demon, they found a group of noble women gathered for a leaf viewing party, which was a common pastime in that season. One of the women informed Korimochi that the party was being led by a princess named Sarashina, who knew Korimochi's reputation and invited him to join them. Korimochi could not refuse an invitation from a princess, so he and his men joined the party. Aside from appreciating the beautiful fall leaves, there was also sake and dancing. Korimochi asked Princess Sarashina to dance for them, and she did so beautifully. Eventually, between the dancing and the sake, Korimochi and his retainers fell asleep one by one, with Korimochi being last. As he slept, Korimochi was visited by Hachimon, the god of war. Hachimon informed him that he had been fooled, that Princess Sarashina was none other than the Kijo, Momiji, in disguise, and he was in great danger. Then Hachimon placed in his hands the holy sword known as Little Crow, or in some versions, the demon-conquering spirit sword. Regardless, Korimochi awoke, and the special sword was in his hand, so he knew the dream was real. He roused his men just in time to meet the demon's attack. Then Momiji appeared in her true form, twice as tall as a man and with fire burning at the end of her horns. Her demon hide would have shattered a lesser sword, but with Hachimon's gift, Korimochi finally put an end to Momiji's reign of terror.